Okay, guys. Apologize for the previous inconvenience. Hopefully, this works out. I think I sent. I think I sent the HP the proper link, and see how it goes. I haven't done StreamYard in a minute, so I don't really remember how this works, but we'll find out. Oh, okay, perfect. What's up, Scottish? Oh, let's see. Guests. Invited guests. How do I do this? No, I think I sent it to him. He should. I think he has it, so let's find out. All right, so I apologize. We had to jump off like that. It's very frustrating. I'll just have to master the StreamYard because that, I don't know. I mean, unless we're gonna just be on, it's aggravating too because the chat goes away. It's like full screen the whole time. The chat goes away, and I have to like keep messing with it to find out what you guys are saying. So this works out a little better. So there you are, Scotty Curtis. Tech is my severe downfall in all of this, man. Like for the first 4 months, I didn't know how to like make like draw an arrow in my pictures to stuff. Like when I was like sharing with people and stuff, they'd be like, "Oh, you're trying to show me?" They'd be like, point an arrow to it. I had no idea how to do it. I had no idea. Then again, I'm kind of stubborn. I don't like to ask for help. So we'll see if he comes in. So how's everyone doing for now? We'll talk. We'll just talk. Um, Scottish, have you been out lately? You've been out at all? All right, Gunner, stop, bro. Not now. Not now. No. Here he comes. Okay, go. All right, enough. All right, enough. No, no, it's too much stuff. He like bullies me. He like pushes. He has such a big, strong head. He like bullies me. Like he goes out all the time and he goes and he eats all the time. It's unreal. So I don't know if it's me. I don't know if I'm not seeing the comments. Let's see. Hopefully, hopefully this is working properly. I feel like such a schmuck, but I do my best. Anyway, what we were talking about before with the someone brought up the New Zealand pick, and there's a lot of that stuff. Oh, you should be backstage. Okay, there's a lot of that stuff coming, and it's gonna be interesting. And you know, just know that I know him like a brother. I mean, I trust everything. I mean, we go over everything together, like everything, my stuff, his stuff, and there's no phony shit involved here. So I hope you guys enjoy it. What's up, Toby? Hiding under your ladies. Oh, let's see. I don't. What? How do I go backstage? Oh, you might be in. Did you get the second link I sent you? Because the first one I fooled. I fooled up. I went into some just strictly record thing. He is. All right, let me see. Yes, second one. How do I pull him in? It just shows me. It says participants, and it just shows me. This is annoying. All right, I'm gonna send it. This is annoying. Layout private chat. So I don't know. I don't see you there. I'm send the link again to show you're in. Broadcast info. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm really. Oh, there you are. Yay!
All right, there he is.
Holy success! Listen, guys, I'm so sorry.
Don't worry about it, dude.
Like to them, I mean, whatever. All right, what's up, man? Good to have you.
Yeah, good to be here, brother. Good to see you.
Look at you in your little code studio. Look at that. I need a cool little microphone.
You got the little the UFO there. Of course, everybody's got to have a Billy Meyer photo somewhere in their room, right?
Oh, that's not the. Oh, you didn't you get a green screen?
I did, but it lags for some weird reason whenever I'm trying to use it, whether I'm live or not, and I can't ascertain why that is. So I haven't used it since that one show.
Oh yeah, that's true. All right, so I don't know, maybe. I think your whole internet's been a little wacky though.
Yeah, we're looking pretty good now, though. Thank God. Over the last, excuse me, 5 days here, I haven't had any issues. Knock on wood. So.
Yeah. All right. Good. I'll do it too. So, one thing I want to ask you about. You have an amazing show. I don't think it's paralleled by anybody, honestly. The way you treat it, the way you interact with the guests prior to, the way you get a nice bio on them, the way you make a beautiful thumbnail, the way you introduce them, the way you know them before. It's not just like some person you don't understand or you don't know, and it's usually people you have interest of, and the questions are like perfect, and it goes so smooth always, and I don't know, from beginning to end, it's very, very good. And you always, no matter if the guest seems to like pertain to anything I'm fully interested in, I always end up interested. But you have somebody coming up that's really exciting to me personally, and that's because it has to do with the Montauk project. So do you want to talk about that one at all?
Well, first off, thank you very much for blowing me up there. I really appreciate the kind words, because I know they do come from a genuine place with you, Mike, and I appreciate that. So on Tuesday, I have Peter Moon, the author of the Montauk Chronicles. He doesn't necessarily subscribe to the term, but his series of Montauk books, of which I believe he's written and co-authored 17, specifically on Montauk. So we're going to go over the Montauk project. We're going to talk about time travel. We're going to talk about esoterica. It's going to be a very interesting interview. It's one I've been looking forward to even before I had it booked. For quite some time, I've wanted to talk to Peter Moon, because as far as I can tell, I think it's as close as you can get to the Montauk Project and those survivors living, because what I've found is a lot of the individuals who were directly involved as either subjects or, another place in the echelon there, they don't want to talk. And it's really just for personal reasons rather than, worried about retribution or something like that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there are some who are worried about retribution, but most times I've contacted folks, they're really quick to clam up. So it's really nice to have Peter come by and be able to talk about this firsthand.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm super excited. Well, I mean, me and you both have a super crazy interest for Montauk.
Oh yeah. You better believe it, man.
I mean,
For good reason.
remember somebody brought to me something today about it was named the oldest Bigfoot picture like ever from '84. Now, remember when you brought me that like stuff about Junior or whatever from Camp Hero in Montauk, and there was a photo of a Bigfoot, and right, and
that's what
that
it
was
looks like.
from
Yeah.
that. Well, yeah, just I mean, yeah.
I don't mean that sarcastically. I mean,
No,
but
I
go on.
know,
I'll explain.
but when was that from? Way back, like
that. I believe it had to be 83. Had to be 83 because when Duncan Cameron released that specter from his subconscious, it was August 1983, I believe, August 12th.
I don't know why I was thinking it was from way before that.
I mean, the photo doesn't look very good quality. It's hard to tell. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, when you get used to it, you get used to it. Like just looking at, but I mean, for where he was up by that big bunker, like I've stood there, I've climbed that, and I've gotten weird feelings from, I mean, like, anybody with a little bit of legs on them tries to climb to the top of that bunker, like, because it's like, they had these giant cannons sticking out of them to, defend the whole damn East Coast. Like, it's cool, but
absolutely.
So I don't know. But I can't find it. Like, it's something that's hard to search. You know what I mean? Like, I've typed in.
Go ahead.
I've just typed in every which way to find it, and the only way I found it is when you share with me. So I know you're pretty good at your research and whatnot. So.
That picture is out there. It's been out there for quite some time. You do sometimes have to do a little digging, but if you do pick up the book, the Montauk Project Experiments in Time, which was, I believe, Peter's first book, co-authored with Preston Nichols on the project, that the picture is in there in black and white as well. So I believe that was when it was first put out. But the story behind it is that I think it was a weather reporter or somebody who was just out taking snaps from a helicopter, didn't see this entity down there, took the picture, and when it was exposed, lo and behold, that's what we see. But the thing about Junior that's very unique and different from perhaps the biological...
I guess you would think it was a...
Go ahead.
No, I think I'm chopping up on you. But I think, if you were just back in the day especially, you would just think it was a person.
Well, I don't know that they necessarily could see it with the naked eye after some time. I believe that it became more ethereal as the energy, whatever was there, sort of began to wane. And I know when they shut the project down and they had severed the tie between 1943 and 1983, that was where the majority of energy was coming to actually fuel the project and where this entity was pulling its energy from. So once they cut that down, it weakened it. But what I was going to say is the difference between this specter and perhaps a biological entity like Bigfoot, is that it was created by somebody's subconscious. So though it had physical form, I was surprised to find that it actually stuck around well after the experiment in, an etheric form. You have to wonder if that is actually still there today, because the person who created it has passed on. So that's a question I'm going to ask Peter, and I don't know that he'll have the answer, but it would stand to reason that if the person that created that particular entity has moved on, that part of his energy would go too. I'm not sure. Maybe not. Yeah, because we can be fragmented.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, I think I've shown you. I haven't shown many people the pictures I got from Camp Hero. I think I showed them to you, right? And they're a little, as far as Bigfoot goes, I don't know if you could just put it right in that box. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you can't.
There's something a little off there, like way off, and and they don't fall into that box. They fall under some kind of, almost a project, if you will. Like there was some kind of manipulation there. And anybody, all right. So basically, the Montauk Project is that movie I talk about a lot, but that movie that show Stranger Things is
Hmm.
it's based off the Montauk Project. So if you guys ever saw Stranger Things, I mean that's where they and they took some of it, but it was a common thing. Like it was called the Montauk Project, and that was originally what it was called, but I think the Duffer Brothers just got kind of bullied out of it a little bit.
Hmm.
And for numerous reasons, whether it was Montauk saying, "Oh, we don't want that kind of publicity here," which I I don't see that being the case because they're a big money town during the summer, and in the winter it's a ghost town, and I don't see why they wouldn't want the traffic, but maybe I don't know.
There was something
So
legal that kept them from
yeah,
securing the name, from what I
yeah,
understand. So,
yeah,
but I'm
um,
glad it wasn't called the Montauk Project because actually, though it takes elements of what occurred in the Montauk Project, it's very much a work of fiction.
sure,
Um, But I mean, again, there are a lot of elements in there that were derived from that project. I mean, the Duff Brothers, they did a great job. They did a great
yeah,
job making a rendition of that story into something, for us to look at today. But then again, you keep in mind that's actually a lot of people's introduction to the Montauk Project. And I mean, it
sure,
goes only surface deep for most people, but
sure.
it's interesting. This project ended in 1983, and we're still talking about today enough that we have a whole show based on the concepts. Pretty
Absolutely.
cool.
I mean, I go out there to this day. I go out there to this day, and I was out there right before COVID hit, and it's still, now you can go in as a civilian. You can walk in. It's not active, but there's still, just like in that show, there's like electric trucks there, always working, running lines, doing stuff. Like,
Hmm.
and whether on the surface you could see it or not, I think there's still a lot going on there, and no, there's no way to prove it really. There isn't, and you see how desolate it is out there. Like in the show, they had like a shopping mall at one point, and like this town is very small. It's very
Hmm.
small, and there's nothing before it really except like the Hamptons, but like out there is very very desolate. There's nothing but land really, and it's interesting. It's always like same as you. It's always drawn me. Like it's I mean, granted, I used to go there every year as a tradition with my mother, single mom, only child. We used to go every year. Not no fancy place, but that's what we did. Once a year, that's how we got away. We went to Montauk. And we had a great time, and we loved it. And we go whale watching and all sorts of stuff. And like I always tell people, the same concept I use for Bigfoot is I go out to where I think they are, and I kind of just wait for a word, wait for a sound, wait for anything. And if they don't come to you, they don't come to you. Really, there is no like, oh, I'm gonna roll up on them.
You can't
It's kind
force
of
it now.
yeah, no, it's the same concept. So I just want to say a couple of things real quick, Johnny. Good. Sorry, some stuff's going on. I understand, bro. I hope you have a good night. Uh, I hope it gets better. Bigfoot and Cryptid NEX, welcome. Guys, yeah, if you sub to him, you won't regret it. I wish there was a better way I could I don't know.
You're doing just
It's one
fine,
of the
brother.
it's awesome. It's so good. I don't know. And if you guys want, like I did a show with him about a couple months ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Or
so
last
if
month.
you want to see something Bigfoot related to get started, there's me on there. He's got a couple of Bigfoot guests.
It was a
So,
fantastic show, by the way.
oh, thank you. I
Oh
mean, you
yeah,
set
dude.
you set it up very well, so you
No, you
make
had
it
all the right
easy.
answers.
I, I try. I can only tell my truth. That's it. I can't talk on a grand scale. I can't
No.
talk like, I don't like to put Bigfoot in a general sense because I don't know. I don't know how it is there and there and there and there. I only know, I mean, this small pocket. And yeah, I've gone to different areas and stuff, but it's all in the same area. And basically Long Island's broken down into like 12 or 13 different Native American sections. So like I live in
Hmm.
like I think I live in the Setauket tribe area. So I
Okay.
like to go around there and stuff. And I don't know. I do a lot of I try to break. I'm trying to do sectionals, and pretty soon I want to get out to the Shinnecock area and talk to the Shinnecock Indians. They're very active. They're just, I guess, a sub tribe of the Algonquin, and
Hmm.
you know, they have big powwows and whatnot, and they Tommy Cooper welcome, and they have a lot, you know, a lot of still their rich history, a lot of still they're very active, they're very, you know, they're still very connected to the original stuff. They haven't been pushed out, you know what I mean? Uh,
Not bad for a group of indigenous people who were supposedly extinct in the early 1900s or
yeah,
20th century, I should say. Yeah, 1900s. They
yeah.
were officially registered as gone and extinct.
Hmm.
Nope.
You gotta wonder, like sometimes I wonder how why they weren't just wiped out completely by by man in the beginning, because they came in to dominate. I'm wondering if they needed them to an extent to understand what was really here in the beginning, like when they first got here. So they kind of kept them around, and then later on, you know, it was too late to dispose of them almost. So they kind of just like gave them a little bit. It was like, here, stay quiet about everything, and we'll give you guys peace and quiet and all this and that and that. You know what I mean? Because you got to wonder, like the white man or whatever you want to call him came in here to dominate. You know what I mean? Like to
Mm-hmm.
an extent, you know, and they do outside. Everything is kind of controlled outside of reservations.
Well, that's true. You know what I mean? And the perspective that we have being outside of those cultures is completely different than being within those cultures and looking at the same things. You know, people might say, well, it's interesting that Montauk happened geographically at the place that it did because that was a very spiritual place and has a very long history, somewhat tumultuous, but not all of it. You know, and yet it's also a sacred place it was a sacred place for the Nazis, believe it or not. It was a very strategic area that, you know, a lot of different groups of people wanted to control at different points in time.
No
So, you
doubt.
know, you have to ask yourself, when a project like that ensues and they pick out, well, you say the logical reason they picked it was because Camp Hero was so big. It was sort of secluded at the time. For what it's worth, it was highly guarded and there was plenty of structures to work with. You're not even talking about what might be underneath the ground, but just, you know, even on top.
Sure.
What's the draw, you know, to such a sacred place? What kind of energy are they taking from that land? How are they manipulating or using anything, you know, energetically to their benefit with what they're doing because of where they are? That's what I want to know. How does that work? Feasibly, I could see why they would do it, but logically, I can't tell you how they would do it or for what reason.
Yeah. So now, didn't this project kind of affect everyone in a sense on a
Everyone,
grand scale?
everyone.
Everyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everything on, and in fact, it affected. Oh God, I mean, to say it in no uneven way, it affected the universe, the present universe that we all live in and are locked into energetically, sort of like a time reference point. When they played around with what they did in Montauk, they were messing around with different timelines and they actually changed the timeline that everybody was on. So I don't know how many times that happened. I think it was at least 2 or 3 that they did
Hmm.
something like that. But again, that's another thing I'll get more into detail with Peter Moon,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
you know.
Yeah, I look forward to that. I mean, I look forward to every single one. But come on, gonna house. Come on. But that one's the one I really look. I've been making sure I follow when that one's gonna go, when that one's on, so so I don't miss it.
Oh, that's going to be an interesting one. I got a few really interesting guests coming on, but I mean, I could probably say that about everybody I invite to the show because we
Yeah,
do
for
definitely have
sure.
a certain caliber of folks who join that show, and I'm just blessed and lucky that's where, you know, I sit with these folks. So
Yeah. Well, I like that. I like that happened for you because you weren't, like you said, you were always like thinking about that guy, and you know, like, oh, I'd like to get him on, and well, you know, when you started the show, you know, and then to find him later, so much later, and have it be, it's almost perfect timing, if you will.
it's
You know.
undeniably perfect timing because you know, as
Yeah.
I mentioned, I couldn't find him before, and you know, since I've been doing what I've been doing, I've become much clearer in the way of, channeling and, intuition, and my guides and a couple other ones who act as guides are with me all the time. And I very, very much can hear them. I'd say 80% of my day if I chose to. When I decided to look for him again, it was like I was guided right there. And all of a sudden I had, his email, and I was opening up right in front of me before I realized what I was going to say to him, because I thought I had time in looking for him. I thought it was going to be a struggle. But that being said, not only is that one of the reasons I feel it's perfect time in terms of synchronicity, but also I've recently found out my own connection with Montauk. So those questions, those personal questions, aren't going to be right at the helm of the interview, which is important because I want to take this into a deeper direction about Peter Moon and his relationship with Preston Nichols and the other two guys that were involved in the project, and how he, what his journey was writing about all of this, and has been and still is. Really, just released a book this year, so.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So
be fascinating, brother.
Huh?
It'll be fascinating, brother.
I can't wait. Yeah, I mean, there was another one I just saw too that you had coming on too, and I was like, oh, this is interesting too. But I don't know, you've had a lot of people going on. I mean, it's been busy. It's been busy. You've been I mean, it was. Oh yeah, Wayne says you want to know about Bigfoot? Ask a Native American. Yeah, no doubt.
He's right.
Yeah, no doubt. See, like, I want to get out there and speak to them, and I don't know, like, I don't know if, I don't want to necessarily be forceful or pushy or ask them for anything in specific, but, I do want to let them know, like, kind of, maybe just, I don't really know how to go about it yet, but maybe go out and, like, kind of explain that I've been having contact and like, is I'm not really sure. I guess I'm just going to feel it out per se, Well,
that's sort of the foot that you've been on. I mean, you use your intuition to sort of feel out where you are. And it's a very right-brained approach. I think you're doing a good job. I think that you should continue to do it the way that you're doing it, unless you have something that improves upon your technique, because what you're doing right now is giving you results. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I don't try to force anything, like you were saying earlier. I don't try to force anything. I don't. I learned to not look for the big answers. What are they? Where'd they come from? Where are we going? How can they do that? How can they do that? How can they do this? What does this mean? What's that about? Like, if I figure it out, I figure it out. But a lot of times, like, you figure a couple things out, you get a lot more questions.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as that goes, I really enjoy it. Like, I really enjoy it. I really enjoy the connection. I really enjoy everything I get from them. Sometimes I go out and there's nothing. Like, nothing.
Sure.
Then again, sometimes I'm passed out in my bed and someone can knock on my door for an hour and I won't hear it. So, like, that's nothing too. Like, you know what I mean? But, like, you might come by the next day and I'll be like, hey, come here. Yeah, go ahead. Like, yeah, I don't get mad at it. But, a lot of it was, was Bigfoot for me for a long time. And I turned a blind eye to everything. I didn't want to hear about it. I didn't want to know about it. My admin were always like, Mike, we got this. And I'd be like, whatever, And they have like this whole stockpile of stuff. And eventually I had to just start opening up to it. Like, I had no choice,
Mm-hmm.
But as you know, Sarah's very, we call her Paranormal because she's so paranormal related. Like, you know what I mean? I like Sasquatch better because I'm into the Sasquatch, but Paranormal is more fitting for her. Like, so we got a busy household with all the things going on, and that's one reason we really love your show. Like, it's just got so much, diversity and everything holds so much value. Like, you can gain so much from everything, like every single guest, every single show. It's so well done, man. Like,
I appreciate that, man. I think it's very important that if you're doing, this sort of work in the field, to, look at all aspects of it, because I think in the end, you're going to find it's all connected. And if you're not looking at everything, you might miss that at some point. It's fine to be fixated on just UFOs or cryptids or what have you, if that's what your bent of research is, or experiences per se. But you know, and someone in my position, because I have had experiences across the gamut, it just makes more sense for me to explore every single avenue of this esoteric field that there is. It just makes more sense.
Right. How did you do that? How did you how did you message down there? I don't even know how to do that. I've been wanting to answer somebody, but not cut you off. I don't even know how you did that.
So I don't know how it looks on your phone, because I've used a
Oh,
phone for one broadcast. You should still be able to do something in the chat, but I mean, I actually used it. I did it on my phone
oh, I see.
because I don't have the option to join the chat. I can see it on the StreamYard, but
Oh,
we'll
I
go
could
through
do.
this afterwards.
I actually have a spare phone. I could be doing that on. All right, no big deal.
Yeah, thanks for
Yeah,
next time. That's all.
yeah, that's cool though. You could go and you can go like right into the live, and I got you. Cool. All right,
Yeah. Say hi.
girl. I'm not really good at doing this shit. So I mean, I don't. This is not really my forte. Like you guys know, I go out. Whatever. I talk a lot when I go out because I want you guys to understand what I'm going through. Kind of step by step. Like, sometimes I just I'll be in the middle of a sentence and I stop, lose total track of what I was saying. But I'll stop because I hear something. But I want you guys to know what's going on, like step by step, so that because sometimes I watch certain channels and I see like they kind of like withhold things or like they leave you with a cliffhanger or like they give you a little bit but they don't want to give you a lot like and for whatever reason. And I mean, I personally see no need for it. And you know open book, full disclosure, whatever. Everything I get, I'm trying to give out. Certain things, we have to keep quiet. But
Of course.
that goes without saying.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I'll leave it up to you guys if you guys have any questions or you have anything. So
I just think in looking at the paranormal world, when obviously you see some of these investigations, they're put up on television, they've been highly edited, they've been under certain scrutiny to make sure that they're going to meet certain parameters for ratings and so forth. You're not seeing a real ghost investigation, and if you are, to any degree, it was the most active investigation they had that year going out, and it's just souped up a lot. A real investigation, you'll go out 20 times and not get a damn thing,
mhm.
nothing, and that
Yeah,
21st time you go out, it'll blow you out of your shoes. So,
yeah.
I mean, and that you might not have another experience like that for another 20 investigations out. It's a real stretch of patience doing the stuff like you do with Bigfoot or going to the paranormal world. They're synonymous in that way, that you need to have iron patience and really a good understanding of what you're doing there. Your intent has to be strong, because
Mhm.
if not, you'll give up. You know what I mean? I think you'll
Yeah.
throw it by the wayside, and that'll be it.
Well, I used to come home upset. I mean, I go out every day for the most part. So like, I mean, I guess I'm putting in the best odds I got because I'm all over the place all the time.
It's
So
all
my
right
odds,
though.
I'm not out like once a week for like 2 or 3 hours, and then like if shit don't hit, like, all right, like I just try again, or if, whatever the case may be. But I used to get really upset, and like Sarah would I'd come in and she'd be like, "Listen, you're not gonna always go in a haunted house and find a ghost." And like, it took me like 3 times hearing her, like, because like I was, like when you're like a little kid and you're like all like, throwing your little tantrum kind of, like not to that extent, but like I'd be like, damn it, like damn it, like what did I do wrong? Did I piss them off? Or they didn't take my gift? Like that's been there for like a month. Like what the hell did did I do something wrong? Like like yeah, like oh they were so active last time. I went back and it was dead, and and it took me like 3 times to hear her say that before I was like, all right, okay, all right, all right. And a haunted house, like literally, it's a place that all these people are saying is a hot spot. And you might walk in and not get anything. Like, so it finally hit home for me. I was like, all right. So I kind of changed my mindset pretty well. But
Well, there's a good chance you're not going to hit anything, but just putting yourself in that space time and time again, you become part of the natural environment. And sure enough, if the environment itself has some sort of sentience and the beings that live within it, they're going to feel that natural placement of you being there after a while and be more comfortable and continue on like they normally would, and just, letting things flow as nature would have it. But you got to also keep in mind, guys, that, these sort of entities like Bigfoot, I don't know, maybe even Dogman. I mean, but some of these cryptids that seem to have biological components are purported to be able to feel your energy before you're even aware that they're in the area. So they're more aware of your presence than maybe you'll ever be of its. But then you still have some cases where a hunter's out in the woods and he's in the brush, and here comes a female Sasquatch out gathering, and another little one, juvenile, running behind. And maybe he moves at some point, and that's when they realize that they're being watched. So it doesn't always, happen that way, but a lot of times people have reported that.
Sure. Like, I'm gonna put a little weird of a example here, metaphor, if you will. But like, for instance, Afghanistan. Now we have this big fob. We're all well prepared. We've trained forever. We're all this big bad army. The best in the world. Got all this stuff. Middle of Afghanistan, ready to go. But that ain't our house. So we might go all over the place as well prepared as we get, and get bested, or get nothing, or not see nobody, or not find nothing, or come up empty. And then one day we might be there and kick ass and get everything done the right way and find everything, caches and this and that, whatever the case may be, or somebody might walk up to us with intel and be like, here you go, and it's a layup. Just like you're saying, like the Bigfoot might walk right up to you and be like, here I am. Is that the case every day? No, no matter how well prepared you are, when it's not your house, like, you can't really, you know what I mean? You can't really win. Like, it's like, it's like playing hide and seek in your house with a stranger,
being out of your element. In a sense, you don't have the intuitive grasp of the environment that something that it lives in that space does.
And there's so much going on out there that we don't really fully understand. And I don't want to call them tricks, but they have a lot of maneuverability that we can't best. So might as well go in and just say, hey, here I am. Like, here I am. Yeah. What you got for me today?
That's it. I think. Yeah, go ahead. No, that's fine. Go ahead.
No, somebody asked if I get off Long Island. Tommy Cooper. I've had sightings off Long Island, but since I started this about a year ago, I have not been off the island to go out now. I had an encounter in Georgia, or not an encounter necessarily, sighting from the car right outside Fort Benning, Georgia. And I think when I was in Korea, I think I just didn't know. I didn't really know what I was looking at the time. I was just not like, I don't know. It just, for whatever reason, it took me till like this year to be like, oh, there was what, like, how did I not? A lot of different mindset programmed in the military, like programmed a certain way. Everything's muscle memory, everything's repetitive, and there's really you're not really going outside of that much, you know what I mean? And to get out of it, you usually go and get wasted drunk, just to get out of it. And that's all, and that's 100% honest. Like, I'm not a drinker, and I used to drink every night. Like, it was the only way I could get to release my brain for a minute. And it sounds weak, but you're built so different when you're built to such a certain way. You don't even realize it. I thought I wasn't. Whatever. We won't go into that all, but
No, but there's a programming aspect to it that eventually the humanity will always come out, I think, no matter how strongly you're programmed, given enough time. So, there's a part of you that wants to, go in line with your training. And then there's a part of you that is still human, trying to struggle and grasp and process what you're seeing and what you're doing. So that part is sort of unnatural for us, in a sense. It's the thing that we need to be able to do those sort of actions and temporarily numb ourselves to certain situations, which will always arise to the surface. Ask any veteran.
Yep, no doubt. Yeah, Sean's here. Sean's a veteran. I think. I don't know if anybody. I can't. I don't know if anybody else is. I'm trying to look back. Oh, Bud, what's up, brother? Uh, Hidden Existence is Danielle's show. She's the old producers for Bigfoot Eyes. Oh, okay. All right, cool.
Yeah, Scottish was was asking if I had been on her show, and I said I wasn't familiar. So I'm hoping that he sends me an email or a link. I put my
Okay.
email in there. I will definitely follow up on that. And thank you. I appreciate it, man.
TFV is sitting on the foothills of the Rockies at the moment. That's what's up. I am jealous
Sounds
too, bud.
nice.
I am jealous too.
Well,
Colorado Springs, oh, it is an amazing city. Heading back into northern New Mex in the late morning on tomorrow. Seeing a ton of signs along the way. I bet you have. That's beautiful, man. Good for you. Good for you. Brave Dog, what's up? To Dave, it's all good, bro. Glad you're here. Mindy, welcome. Uh, Sean Patterson, what's up, brother? He's the vet I was telling you about. Very similar to me. He's whatever. I shared his stuff. I shared some of his stuff about a Gugwe this morning on the Facebook page, and
mhm.
of all we've heard about the Gugwees, they're monsters and they're face ripping, face eaters. He's had nothing but kind and amazing interaction with them. They've gifted him. He said they're actually the nicest of all the Squatch he's met, Bigfoot he's met.
Huh.
That type of stuff. They've actually been the most gentle and kind and giving.
That's
So,
interesting.
yeah, very much so. So he was very, on board to put that message out. And I wanted to portray it for him. So, yeah. But
Oh, that's cool. I mean, I really think it has to do with the individual. I believe that we do have connections to some of these etheric beings that we just don't realize, what it is. We're just sort of living this life in ignorance when perhaps, before the incarnation, we understood that connection. God, I mean, if you want to think about like the Akashic records or something like that, supposedly tracks and keeps record of every little thing you do, say, think, and so forth, every life that you've ever lived in every different body. God, I mean, what I wouldn't give to just sit down in a library like that and just kind of, for my own curiosity, see where else I've been. But, a lot of people get caught up in like past life stuff to the point where they forget that they're here. They might
yeah,
try to define themselves on something they think happened in a past life, which in some circumstances is suitable because they haven't released that part of themselves and there's needs some healing and
yeah,
separation from what was and maybe who they are and who they're going to be. But I really do think people get really fixated on that sort of part of the field, in general, in terms of spirituality, I should say.
yeah. I mean, if you hit stuck points on certain things, it's, in anything, it's good to kind of move on and kind of, if it might click in a little bit, you might come back to it or something, but something like that, you could bang your head against the wall forever and not find anything. You know what I mean?
Sure,
It's
but if you
a,
take your approach where you just kind of sit back and allow it to,
uh,
present itself, you know what I mean? I
sure,
think you get better results.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. Paul, welcome. Fast Hemi. Hey, um, there's so much reality that Mindy said. There's so much to reality than we perceive with the physical senses. Past life is who we were. It isn't who we are now. Off-world Adam. Vroom
Mhm.
vroom. Oh, Hemi. Okay, gotcha.
To
uh,
me, looking at past lives is nothing more than realizing there's this other facet of yourself. For example, if I found that I had a third ear in the back of my head that I didn't know about, eventually I think it was weird at first and kind of gawk at it, but at the same time, I would just accept that I have a third freaking ear, and
mm,
that's just part of me. You know what I mean? That's what I think about that.
Sarah says it's called an old soul.
Hmm.
TFV. We have the ability and agility to connect with many life forces if we slow down and pay attention to the signals. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Well, it sounds like you got a good head on your shoulders for this stuff. Do we all have that? Mindy wants to know.
Yeah, absolutely. We absolutely all have it. We have cultured it to certain extents, given what we're here to do, what your agreement was on the path that you're, here living now. It's no coincidence that you have the body, you have the parents that, you were born to. These things I highly believe were sort of orchestrated prior to our coming into this physical form, and it's all orchestrated by you. It's no outside force. You're the one who comes up with your own karma, which to me is just another way to explain cause and effect. And when you go through your life review and you look at how you've affected somebody, it's not somebody saying, I'm judging you, you need to go back and write yourself in another life with this person. No, you look at the person and say, shit, I really hurt that person. I hurt them bad. Can I have a chance to do something different? In the way of higher vibration. And whether you actually stick to that or not when you come down here, that's a totally different story. This is where we get into the idea of what some people call free will, which I think is just the trajectory of the soul, whatever it wants to experience, whatever that desire is. Where that comes from, it has to be the juice of creation, if it makes sense. The energy of creation.
Sure. Yeah. Yes, Dark Hour has a channel and a show. It's Dark Hour, one word, Paranormal.
Dark Hour, space Paranormal. If you look up Dark Space Hour, Space Paranormal, you won't find it for whatever reason.
Put Dark Space Hour. Yeah, I mean, it even took me it takes, I don't know, now YouTube knows. I put in DA and it goes right to you, but in the beginning I was messing up.
As the channel is growing, I've noticed it's coming up in other feeds and stuff like that. So I expect to see more of it as we go forward. But yes, thank you for the interest.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard. Like YouTube's big on these short films or whatever. So like apparently now, I shared like some lost tape once that was like 40 seconds long, and it was like a bunch of crap. But I was just putting them up. Like literally just call them lost tape. I had no idea what was on them, but like there's like a motorcycle in the background, whatever. It has like over 100,000 views now, and like people shit all over it, and like for good reason. For good reason, they shit all over it. But like some people like go through it and they're like, oh wow, there's a lot here, and like, all right, they enjoy it. Like, but like when they were sharing that a lot of people were coming in, but like, they were looking through the rest of the stuff and being like, oh, all right, this is just. But they'd be like, I don't fucking see anything. I never said there was anything there. I just like anybody who knows me knows I just throw shit up there.
I think that's funny. Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as it's done, it just goes up. There's no like editing process. As soon as I'm done filming, it's pretty much it's just uploading.
That's funny, but that's true. That's the key right now. The algorithms love the short videos, and it puts you in constant queue. But
they sent me an email and asked me to make it, and they were like, oh yeah, like giving me shit about it. Like you'll see one from like a week ago and I hashtagged shorts, like just to be a jerk going back to them. I was like, here take it. Like it just happened to be short, so I hashtagged shorts.
Oh, that's funny.
Like, no, I'm not going to abide, but if it happens to be a little short film, like a little, then it is, but I'm not going out of my way to make 30-second videos.
It's part of the game, and I don't think that you need to compromise integrity of your channel and what you're doing. This stuff is out there. Your channel is growing nicely, bro. So I mean, it's really up to you at this point. Eventually it comes that way, I think.
I mean, we've always been quantity over quality. I mean, quality over quantity. We're not like sub chasing or like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
Yeah, it's not about that. It's not. You know what I mean? Good. You guys are all good people, and you'll come. Like you'll come and you'll invite more good people, and like that's the way. Word of mouth is how a good small mom and pop business grows. Like, you know what I mean? I don't feel a need. I don't feel a need to clickbait. Like, I mean, I'll be, my title will be like, how do you out here? Like, I don't care. Like, like.
If your content is strong enough, there's no need for clickbait ever. If you stand alone on your content and material, there's no reason to try to rope other people in there under false pretenses. Because even if you do, they're not going to stay. And they're probably not going to like you either for doing it. How much do we all love clickbait? I mean, really.
Yeah, like Paul said, Mikey, raw footage shows everything. No doctoring your crap in yourself. Yeah, like I'll be scared of like a rabbit, like or like a little, like twice in 1 week I got scared of like a bunny. Like I'm out looking for 10, 12, 15 foot, 1,000-pound squatches, and I know that this is what scared me. So I mean, but that's who I am. like I jump at everything, you know. Like I was out with Paul one night, and he's like, "What happened?" A leaf came by, like it fell, I guess, and like it came with like a good gust of wind, and it came by, and it was like getting dark. And in my head, I was thinking of like rock tossing and tree knocking, and like they're gonna start coming out. They're gonna be active because we have a long ways out, and it's gonna get dark on us. We've never been here before, and like at that time, I'm thinking about rock tossing, and something came by, and I like flinched so hard. He was like, what happened?" I was like, and I was honest with him. I was like, I wasn't filming at the time, but I'm like, honestly, I'm like, a leaf flew by. But here's where my mind was when it happened. And he was just like shaking his head at me, like, "Oh, okay."
Well, let me ask
Like,
you a question, Mike. Is it a healthy fear that we need to have of cryptids like Bigfoot when we're in the woods, or is it more a cautionary thing, you know, against a biological threat, possibly?
wait, what do you mean?
So, is there any reason to fear Bigfoot itself, or should, when we go out into the woods and we're around their habitat, should we just be cautious the way we would with
Oh,
a natural animal living in the woods?
yeah, that's my opinion and my experience. That's yes, like respectful, respectful, show proper intent. Sometimes you'll end up in a situation where, you're stepping on something or you're doing something wrong, and you might realize it halfway through, and like, just kind of back out graciously. I apologize. I apologize for cracking sticks that are important. That might be important. Like, 'cause I step on something, it goes. I'm like, oh, oh, oh. Like I think like I think I like killed something. But like it's just how I am. Like you know, I don't think there's no fear, in my opinion, of my experience. There's no fear of them.
Hmm.
Yeah, you're never gonna get used to probably looking at them. You're never gonna get used to them in full body scale or anything. What's up, Reek and Havoc? Yeah, I know for me personally, I'll never get used to them in full form. From the first time when I dropped on the floor shaking in a fetal position, yelling no, crying, like my body and mind reacted in
Yep.
such a natural way. But I mean, I'm
Hmm.
out looking for it, and then I see it, but I had never seen it in full scale like that. The one time I saw, like I share with you guys a lot, that guy with the jacked upper body, that's just like, three of me across at his chest. I never really looked away from his chest. I never, like, when he walked by, I couldn't get away from all this. Like I didn't see his legs, I didn't see his head. I could not get over, you know, his
The
upper
breath.
torso.
Yeah.
I couldn't I That's all I stared at. That's it. The film went a little all over the place, kind of, but like we still got a good picture out of it. Like, uh, but I don't know if I'm ever really prepared for it, but I don't fear it as far as, them coming after me. If anything, when I'm not supposed to be out there, they'll let me know. Like they'll
Hmm.
protect me in a sense of like, sometimes it can seem scary to some people the way that they're forcefully pushing me out. But like I always go and I look at it in the sense like, why were they rushing me out all of a sudden? It
That'd
must
be
have
a
been for my
reason.
own. It must have been for my own good. Like something I didn't see coming. Something I don't really know it's out there. Something they maybe can't keep me protected from. You know what I mean? Like Mike, time to bounce, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like you don't want to be here for this shit. Like something like that. You
You
know what I mean?
listen. You listen, though. You do
Yes,
something
for
different.
sure,
Yeah.
for sure. And that's another reason I don't watch a lot of stuff, because I don't like to have a preconceived notion, or you know not like the channels where like the monsters, they're selling the monster, because it's easy to sell the monster. Like, you know what I mean? It's
Hmm.
easy to.
Hmm.
And I'm not saying there's not terrible stories out there. The one that we are gonna have tonight was gonna be actually like pretty horrifying, but it's not Sasquatch. Um, so a lot of this stuff might be misidentified too. So
Hmm.
uh, I don't know. I can only speak for myself, and I can't get on the monster wagon, because encounter I don't encounter evil. I don't encounter a bad creature on any level. You know what I mean? To me, I can get behind the Nephilim theory because I've met nothing but angel type people. To me, they're the
Hmm.
kindest people I've ever met in my life. on a regular basis. So I mean, the Nephilim theory heads up in that sense. You know what I mean? And
Sure. I still think it's been mentioned before. Where we can really get some insight on this is by talking to those indigenous people, to whatever extent that they'll be willing to talk. I can understand trying to protect age-old knowledge about, the people of the forest, or, having concern that, maybe we're going to go out there and disrupt and be disrespectful. And that in itself is a healthy fear from their standpoint. But, if any one of us who want to do this sort of research, if we approach maybe with the most genuine interests in preserving the culture and knowledge that they might impart by asking questions about, cryptids and Bigfoot that they are familiar with, I think we'll get a lot further. Again, it just comes back to talking to somebody who's been around for a long time. Who would you rather interview? The guy, like Ryan Sprague, or do you want to talk to somebody like Stephen Greer? Somebody who's been doing this for a very long time, who's had their experiences, a godfather of the field in certain respects because of what they've done. So
sure.
that's sort of the way I look at it. And if you want to get an intellectual understanding of Bigfoot, as well as maybe a spiritual understanding, indigenous people are the number one people to go to.
Mm. Yeah, I have to agree with you there, 100%. Yeah, Stephen Greer actually just what's his name, Doctor Stephen Greer.
Dr.
Yeah,
Stephen Greer.
whatever what do you call it, a bombshell or whatever that he just dropped. What did he put out? He had a whole bunch of information. I don't know. You might know better than me because I was hung up when we were learning about it. I was hung up on some other stuff that was like mind blowing. It was being called Pareidolia, and it wasn't. I was losing my mind. But I was losing it.
Don't you love that fucking word, Paradolia?
Oh Jesus!
It's just like a knife to your side sometimes. But that's funny. Sorry. I mean, Stephen Greer. Well, let's see. Richie of Goofon and Doc Skinner of Third Phase of Moon. Both those guys are involved with Third Phase of Moon. Also a great channel, guys. Check them out as well as Goofon. They went to a CE5. No, actually, it wasn't. It was just an expose, I think, of a presentation. Yeah, maybe they were talking. I don't know if it was specifically CE5 because I don't think they did anything outside, which I was surprised about. But they still got the chance to interview Dr. Stephen Greer, and they asked the questions that we would ask. What's going on now? Where are we headed with some of this stuff? I'm, of course, very much simplifying the questions, but Greer was very elegant in his response, very eloquent. But I don't have any more answers than when they asked the question when they asked the questions. So before they asked the questions, Jesus, sorry.
It's all right.
Yep, today's word is Paradolia. And every day after.
I think he might have been trying to say today's world.
I like the word of the day better.
Yeah, okay. Either way, listen, that word, it drives me nuts. But whatever.
Well, if that's what he was saying, that the world is Paradolia. I mean, people are seeing a lot of things that they want to see, but
no, for sure.
God, you start kind of wading into the world of understanding elementals and fairies and so forth. There's a lot of that Paradolia stuff that goes on in that aspect of the field. And I do think some of it's relevant. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Sorry, but so the same people who are hiding all this shit from us are the people who created this word. You know what I mean? And it's an easy thing to throw out there. Like there's trolls on every subject, every place, every show, every topic, everything, everywhere. Now you come into the Bigfoot world, and we're like easy targets because we're easy targets for so many levels. You know what I mean? And they get to throw out this blob squatch shit and Paradolia and this and that, and they spend, it's like a fancy word that everyone learned and wants to use, but that Paradolia can be so important in so many different ways that it shouldn't be overlooked. It really shouldn't. Oh yeah, Manimal Research is a good channel too, guys. Go check them out.
It's like when people talk about orbs in the paranormal world, and every orb you see run by, oh, it's just dust. It's the most easily dismissed bit of evidence in the paranormal field. I think, especially when it comes to cryptids and subjects like that, pareidolia is just another one of those ways to just dismiss what you're looking at. I do think that a lot of what we see is pareidolia, but I also think that we have that reaction in our mind for a specific reason, whether it be survival or otherwise. There is something else there that we're just not in tune to with what, is pareidolia.
Yeah. But there, there's a lot of stuff in history that now is being just dubbed as pareidolia. That's like, I don't know. This is like advanced stuff that's not really super important to the everyday. But like one day I'll have to explain all this like more in depth, because this is not something I could start into now. But the other night it was driving me nuts. I think I messaged you like, "You see this shit?" Like, that's not what that is. Like, I started screenshotting and circling pictures. I was gonna send them to you. I'm like, let me not ruin this guy's night with all this.
You can send me anything. That's not a problem. But I mean, even if we had 100 pictures that we consider pareidolia, and one of those we couldn't necessarily rationally explain, that it accounts for something. Human beings are very interesting. They need so much evidence right in front of their faces to kind of do one of these numbers before they actually start to realize it. I don't know why we're so stubborn that it takes so much for us to change opinion or look at experience differently.
Yeah, I mean, some people have like a type of awakening, you know what I mean, and that's like, and then they're able to kind of see things differently. A lot of times that's what it is. I've noticed that people who have had like some kind of like big, life altering thing, sometimes like that's changed their outlook on life, and now those people are able to just be open to more, and like that's sometimes just all it takes is just. I hate to be a cliche and be like, oh, have an open mind to this, but sometimes, it's the best.
That's what it is.
Way to, the best way I say is like treat everything like you're a child. A child goes through things carefree, doesn't criticize, they're not worried about this, that, the other thing. They're not worried about who says what, and unless they get picked on, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like to just go through as as if you're a child and treat it that way. And you might see things come a little differently.
That's one of the biggest things that people don't talk about. Sorry, I'll get to Buttered in just a moment there.
Yeah.
Buttered. I'm not sure how to pronounce
it. All right, Bud.
But oh shit, what the hell was I just gonna say about that? What were you just saying?
You want me to remember?
Damn it! I know it'll come back, but what was it was something you had just said. Don't make me rewind this. Damn it. Oh God, it's right on the tip of my tongue. Go ahead. It'll come to me.
I don't care. I
know what it was. Sorry. Okay. So this is one of the things that growing up, we don't realize happens is we lose that inner child. We get completely suffocated by this adult world that we enter into that most of us aren't even prepared to do. And once we get in there, we're, completely fuck off. And, we have our own issues and tribulations. All right. For those times.
Word of the month.
In doing that, we push this inner child down within us, and it becomes a festering, sweltering issue later in life. I mean, bitterness stems right from not having a connection to that inner child. And there are many different reasons that we may not be in touch with it. Maybe there was a trauma earlier in life. Maybe again, we just grew up in the adult world it was too quick, too fast. There's so many different variables as to why this is the case. But you'll have to get back in touch with that to fully heal yourself and really enjoy life again, to enjoy the simplest things, as a child does. That it's a reflection of how comfortable you are with that inner child. And I just wanted to kind of make note of that because it's something that many people don't realize. Their closed-mindedness happened during their adolescence or just a little bit beyond that. And, they can't contemplate something new, whereas you show a child something, maybe they'll take it for face value, but they'll be interested in explore it as another facet of reality.
Sure. Bud said he's seen orbs in his bedroom. Now, we had somebody in here named Wreaking Havoc. You might want to check his channel out as well and see about his the orbs in his house and how it's good. And he was also on Dark Hour Paranormal, so you could always watch that episode to see, it in a nutshell as well. But
And Goof on as well, yes.
oh yeah,
And
okay,
Alien
true that.
Addict too. Alien Addict as well.
Oh,
He's
okay, cool.
yeah, yep.
Yeah, really, I mean, amazing. Like I had seen it before all that stuff, and I mean, the way he did it and went about it was really, really commendable. I mean, he like shrink wrapped everything in his house. Like he made it so there was no possible way you could be like, oh, that was this. Like, it was interesting, really cool.
Very professional. Very
Yeah.
professional.
So that I don't know. I just wanted to bring that up before we moved on.
Yep.
That type of thing is what I call the religion of materialism. I think I found a great spot to start looking for them, but I have to wait till deer hunting season is over. Many hunters in it. Yeah, it's
That'd be
safe bet.
recommended.
I'm a little reckless, but I have been going in the areas where there is no hunting allowed. Has never stopped anybody, but at least I know I'm not around the masses. The masses of arrows. I don't know if they're only allowed arrows here or bullets or what, but I used to see people in Pennsylvania in tree stands in their front yard because it was so overpopulated. They were allowed to hunt like certain times, like anywhere. Like it was cool. If they were on their own property, like if the deer walked on their property, they were. It was nuts. It was really cool though.
There was an overpopulation some years ago where they were just given free licenses to do whatever. There was no limit. I mean, this was some years ago, but
yeah, me
within the
too.
last 20 years, I think. Yeah.
What I'm talking about was old too, a long time. I was young.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that time, dude.
Yeah, a little bit. I hate coined words, terms, safe place, diversity. True that. Favorite First Nations tribe name? Are you asking? Oh shit, we're really far behind. Oh,
If
what's
you
my?
guys put the questions in capital letters, it's easier for the host to see, just to give you that.
Yeah, that's true.
Just so you guys know, we'll have a better chance of seeing it as the feed goes.
It happened a couple of days after I visited the astral plane for the first time. Oh, wow.
Well, there might be something more for you there, but if you're visiting the astral plane, I mean, I don't know if you're asking, yourself if this is real or if you're just sort of accepting this as part of your experience, for your astral travels. So I guess I would have to sort of ascertain that first, your belief in this before I went further with questions.
Thank you. Jesus teaches, truly I say to thee, truly I say to you, unless you turn and become like children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Thank you, Roverbill. That's cool. Thank you. Be more. Hello. What's up? Welcome. Daily Dan blog. What's up, brother? Thank you. He says, great stream tonight. Wear orange. Oh, wear orange. Oh, yeah, true. Oh, he's saying for hunting. I got you. Thank you, Mike. Mike Flynn, welcome. I don't know if I said it. I'm trying to catch up to everything. The first video on my channel was orbs in my former home. Okay, interesting. Thank you, bro. You guys check that out. Not only that the parks serve as the gates locked, saying the road is. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. The gates. Okay. Yeah, who knows what's going on there? I always wonder why. Certain areas have gates on. Why state parks are a state park. It's just something I've really been going deep into. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm necessarily writing a book, but I'm putting chapters of things together
Nice.
that might one day go into something like that.
I love that.
Yeah, it's interesting for me because I'm not much of a reader or a writer, so I wouldn't really want to force anyone to read. But maybe I'll make an audio book.
People like books, though, man.
Full moon thoughts. Go. I gotta use the bathroom. Go. Yeah,
full moon thoughts. Is it the full moon tonight?
It is.
Oh well. I guess I'll think about that a bit and be able to tell you better.
Oh,
But
all
no,
right. I thought maybe you had. I thought maybe you had
no,
something.
I have nothing. I've had a headache today, and that's odd. But other than that, I can't really attribute that to cosmic influence. But who knows? Maybe.
Oh, all right. We missed Adam's question. Adam, you get to go again.
Yeah, hit us again, Adam.
Anthony Yannick, what's up, bro? West Virginia. All right. Give me 2 minutes, guys. I got to use the bathroom.
Go right ahead.
You know what to do.
Yeah. All right. This is cool, though. This is cool. Good Sunday broadcast. Very happy to be here with everybody tonight. Thank you all for coming in. I see every one of you, although I haven't been able to respond to the majority. I got a couple of you in there. And thank you for the recent subs. I saw that a handful of you did sub to my channel. I appreciate it. I don't think you'll be disappointed. If you are, you can unsub, but I don't think that'll happen if this is what you're into. So, yeah. Quite well. A little chilly tonight. Out here in Massachusetts, for those of you who don't know, not too far away from Mike. And we will be going out together, I think, maybe the middle part of next year. We'll see how things roll with the current situation that we're all very aware of. But that is in our plans, and we do plan to visit Camp Hero over in Montauk as well. Very curious area. If you guys aren't familiar with the Montauk Project or anything that happened over in Montauk, New York, I highly suggest you check it out. Stranger Things, as it's been mentioned tonight, is a really interesting story. It's a very entertaining show. And though they've taken some elements here and there, it's not really reflective of what the Montauk Project was. So I highly suggest you guys go and check that out. And of course, there are many other different projects in places that things like that have been held that you can look up as well throughout the world. So it's not just Montauk. It was just a really prevalent project that people know about today. Russia was doing the same thing. But with that being said, Mike's back here, and Mike, back to you.
Oh, just waiting for Adam. All right, yeah. I'm glad
I saw that. The clips, yeah.
Oh, really? Cool. Overbuild says, I am glad I got to see this show. I subbed to your channel today. All right, cool. Good. Yeah, you guys won't be disappointed. You know I don't gas shit up if it ain't worth it. And a lot of you guys, I put up something yesterday on the community tab. I think it was Central Michigan Bigfoot. I saw it on Northern Michigan Bigfoot. He was asking people to, and he had less subs, but he was asking people to sub to Central Michigan Bigfoot because they were close to 1,000. So we put up a post on LIB, and a lot of you guys I saw within like an hour, their stuff skyrocketed. So I know you guys did that, and that's very cool because they're trying to hit that 1,000. They were like 60 shy, and I think they're like 30 shy now. So if it was any of you guys, hats off, because that's cool. Like they're out there doing their thing, and it's all teamwork based. So if that's what they need to get to go live in the field and stuff, because they don't have good reception, et cetera, I don't think they can go through the internet, whatever, yada yada yada. Long story short, they didn't ask me to do it. I just brought it to you guys, and you guys did a great favor. Like, I thought that was cool.
It's awesome.
Off-world Adam, do I see it? No, let me go. I'll just go back. Hang. I thought you were gonna type it again.
Adam, let's go, man.
Okay. See, we both know Adam very well, so we're toying with him right now. But, all right, True Mindy.
Chops for a minute.
Okay, they are people. They deserve respect when they're in their backyard. All right, that's not a question. It doesn't go
further back. I saw that too.
I can't go farther back than that.
I don't see it.
It won't let me.
Adam, if you could just type that in the chat again. Unfortunately, we're not able to see what was previously written. That would be awesome, man. We'll get right to it.
I'm trying. I don't see it.
And I don't have anything. No, I don't think so, because I would have an option to accept it or not, and I don't see it.
Oh, sorry. I don't know.
Sorry,
maybe.
Adam.
Yeah, I have it on all comments too. So I don't. I I don't know. Sorry, guys. My bad. I don't. Adam, you know how to reach us if you want later. Um, it's in all
10:35.
caps
That's
at
weird.
10:35. All right. I don't. Fuck.
Wait, 10:35.
That
What?
just happened too.
Over an hour ago?
No, no,
Oh, I got it.
like 3 minutes ago. Yeah. No. So
10:35. I don't see it. It's not there. That is the strangest thing, dude. I'm sorry.
yeah.
I see where you would have put it, but I don't see it. Okay, that's
Yeah, because
strange.
we're seeing everything else you're writing.
Yeah. Well, like Mike said, you guys, well, you know how to get a hold of us if you like, if you want us to answer whatever you have. So sorry, man.
Um. One more thing I personally wanna touch on, right? While I have you here. So I always preach, not preach, but like I always talk about how I use Reiki.
Mhm.
It's not a common thing, and like I'm level 2, and out of 4, where 4 is a master, which whatever. I have a good understanding and stuff, but I find it very relevant. And I used to talk about it a lot. I used to do Facebook Lives all the time and sit and like read little snippets from the book on what I thought, how they interconnected. And meditation is one thing, but Reiki is a different aspect
Mhm.
of it. And just like anything else, you can make it your own. You can personalize it, which I do. I use it for Bigfoot. Some people, there's some courses that are like Christian Reiki, and what I mean. There's different masters that might teach it differently or whatever. So, but I use it out there, and it's a healing energy tool, and it's almost like an energy massage, if you will.
Mhm.
And I don't know how to put it in layman's terms, really. Like, but it's like a movement of energy, and it's like getting someone out of their own way to heal themselves, if you will. And I just noticed that the energy connection is it's good to get in that mode and kind of put that out there, and it helps you just kind of be open, like you know when you're doing it with yourself, if you will. And I know that about Reiki probably way better than I do, because you are in fact a master. So, is there anything you want to like put into why it could be beneficial, or anything you think on that, or like any, I don't know, is there anything you think about that at all? Or
I think it's a fantastic approach. And, keep in mind that using Reiki and working with that sort of modality is a very fourth and fifth dimensional sort of type of work. So
okay,
if these beings have the ability and are sensitive to perceive energies the way that we think they might be, it would only stand to reason that they would be receptive to something like Reiki energy, which is very high vibrational energy.
yeah,
Um, I think that it's so natural that there are animals and certain beings that do use energy the way that we're describing right now to heal, and they do it very naturally. For us, again, it's another one of those, oh, you have to learn how to walk kind of thing again. After you already knew how to walk, you forget to walk so you can learn to walk again. And that's sort of what our path here is, in a lot of ways, relearning, I guess, and reincorporating in our new experience what we might have done previously, and taking that into the next stage. So when it relates to cryptids and other living beings, I think it's a very, very solid way to communicate your presence and to show your intention without having to be visceral about it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I've noticed that when I'm able to get into that state properly, I have a lot more of a like grand scale interaction. You know what I mean? It's not
Hmm.
necessarily. It's almost like there's an attraction. Like uh, I don't know how to put it really.
Well, you
Like
change your vibration in doing that, and you might actually match the vibration of something else. Well, keep in mind that if you're not vibrating at the same uh, function as perhaps something else, you might not ever interact. You'd never know the existence if the distance between you is great enough. So when you consciously bring in that Reiki and you open yourself up to that energy, you're raising your entire vibration. And I feel that it's a more noticeable thing, when you're dealing with entities like Bigfoot.
sure, yeah, I hear all the time. Wow, like you got balls of steel, and wow, I can't believe you like walk around so calm and this and that, and like I have like a joking personality. I like to fuck around. Like, I like to bullshit. I like to curse, whatever. But like when I'm out there, like I'm tend to be like on an even keel, and that's because I'm using that, type of practice, if you will. And like it might seem like I'm like almost like monotone, or like I'm like kind of like calm, or I have a poker face, if you will. But like really, what that's kind of what I'm doing is like kind of like blank slating myself, if you will. You know what I mean? I'm not going out there with any like, oh, like, sometimes it's good to go out there and just like joke around and be yourself and like let them see that. But at the same time, there's, sometimes there's a different level of interaction I'm looking for, and
You're
like,
allowing yourself to get in some of those higher vibrational frequencies that come in, perhaps in the form of thoughts or otherwise. Uh, what would you rather do when you go to sit down, or when you go to play a baseball game with a team? Would you rather walk in with a mind full of nonsense and shit that you're thinking about, or do you want to be focused on the game? Even those guys who clear their minds like you're doing, make the slate clean and blank, you're going into a certain sort of meditation by doing that. You're
yeah,
controlling your thoughts, and you're allowing other thoughts to fill in where your noise was prior to. Have you seen any, or what's your thought about Werewolves and Dogmen? Well, very quickly, I did do a full show on this with Rich Giordano and Robert Rivas is the last show that you can find, most recent show on the channel. But in very short terms, werewolf, the whole idea of a werewolf to me is something that was contrived the same way that perhaps witches in, our understanding of what they are, traditional understanding of what they are, not necessarily the pagan and more religious people who are practicing this sort of thing, but your traditional witch with a black cat, and she's going around casting evil spells on everybody, and the witch trials and so forth. It was a product of culture and timing. And I think werewolves are the exact same thing, mixed with fear, superstition, and uncertainty of pilgrimage, if you will say, being in a new place, bringing your old superstitions and religions. This is what's sort of kept on for longer. Now, dogmen to me is another cryptid. Okay, it has nothing to do with werewolves. Some people talk about experimentation gone amok and something. You know what? I don't buy that for a second. That that was the case. Dogmen. The Dogman to me is as real as Bigfoot is, just not seen as much for whatever reason.
yeah. They, from what I understand, they don't deal well with loud noises. Like a lot of the, how Bigfoot is connected. Like they don't do well with our technology and stuff. So like, as far as like live streaming, the high frequencies coming off that, they don't do well with. They don't do well with loud noises. So
Mm-hmm.
they wouldn't want to
Mm-hmm.
be around people as much as you know as as Bigfoot is. Like people, like how we go squatching, Bigfoot go peopling. They watch us from wherever they are. I think that was how somebody put it once. Do you think they go peopling? And I said, yeah, absolutely. It was really funny the way it was
Yeah.
put, but it's a really good way to put it. Is Reiki crystals? And then it says all connected. So, and then centering yourself. So yeah, these are all good things here. So Reiki crystals are very, very relevant in Reiki. One way to kind of cheat is to know if somebody's kind of, how would you put it, if they're like open or like very, I guess, to see how like open they are. Like you could kind of have like a pendulum of a clear quartz crystal, and I can hold it over your palm, depending which way it goes, and like it should go in clockwise or counterclockwise, or it won't move. But like if somebody's really open, like it's like it'll go fast, and then it'll go big. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
you're just holding it still, but your energy will make that thing zoo, 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 you know what I mean? And for me, that thing gets going like it looks like one of them swing rides at the so like I've always been that way even before, but that's like kind of like a cheap cheat. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Sorry, I got a tongue twister there. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up. Sorry, Adam. I'm sorry, bro. So he says, someone doesn't want me asking my question. YouTube is censoring me. It's damn well possible. I must have hit a nerve about Sasquatch. It's damn well possible, and I apologize, my brother.
Just put the question in, put a few spaces in between certain letters of the word so you can still kind of read it as a whole.
Yeah, like when I want to curse, I say, DA
Yeah.
space FUKQQ, like the
Yeah,
fuck,
exactly.
the fook.
Oh
Welcome
God.
back, Paul. Declassify that pineal gland. Push on.
Yep,
Decalcify
decalcifying. Yep,
that.
decalcifying that pineal gland.
Oh,
No easy
that.
task.
I'm glad you could read that. Read that. That
Oh,
was
how
very.
familiar. That's tough though. That's a tough one, man. Takes
Adam,
time.
write it in bits of the chat. That's yeah. Sorry, Adam. But Adam, you know how to get a hold of us.
I do see something from Offworld Adam, and he's asking, do you think that there are two types of Sasquatch, ones with abilities and ones without? Is it plausible that the ones with abilities command the ones without abilities? I don't know. I mean, personally, I've never seen any sort of hierarchy in that regard, but I do think that there are certain species of Sasquatch. Maybe some are more attuned to, the interdimensional stuff, and maybe some aren't. I don't know. What do you think?
I lost track of you because I was reading Civil Disobedient. That's Big Cat, and Big Cat can't get in either. He's using the sock account, so he can't get in either. They won't let him come in.
That's very strange.
Unreal. All right, I'm sorry. I'll go back to
Hmm.
so. All right, so he says, do you think there are two types of Sasquatch? One with abilities and one without. Is it plausible that ones with abilities command the ones without abilities? So uh, I know they operate in like a caste system. So like as far as like people saying like they got attacked by a Bigfoot, this is why I don't really buy it because they don't really, from my understanding, they don't make a move without
Hmm.
full, full on. Everybody says hell yeah, do it, and including top dog. Kind of reminds me of myself, my Sicilian family. Even now, I'm so low on the totem pole at 37 years old that I can't do shit. You know what I mean? I'm still waiting on the table and bringing people stuff. So, like, for people to say, oh, a young Sasquatch went and did this, like, I don't see how he would have the balls or the good sense to. So, are there rogue ones? Maybe. Are there hybrids? Maybe. Are there, ones that got a little loose and decided to run off and, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Now, as far as the families go, I've seen nothing but like a chain of command. You know what I mean? And I always say if something did happen where, somebody was mistreated, like who was that person? What were they doing at the time? What's their history? Why? What stuff like that. So now, as far as going back to what you're saying, are there ones with abilities and ones without? I think that there's a good possibility of of that. I think there's a good possibility maybe they all have the abilities and some they teach us, I believe, in stages of like what we can handle. So
Hmm.
maybe one might be around you and never show you stuff because you're not supposed to see that part of it. You're not supposed to carry that message. You're not supposed to be dealt those cards. Somebody might see all the orb stuff and all this stuff and all the fancy lights and the disappearing act and all that stuff because maybe that's what you're meant to carry and you're meant to bring on. And um, from my understanding, I'm supposed to be an ambassador between peoples.
Mm.
Uh, basically, that's the best way to put it, to connect the peoples. Show you, they openly show me things to openly show you. That's why I'm allowed to catch it on film so much. And there's no trick of the trade at all. There's no, if I just, Sasquatch Ontario, Mike P says it the best. You know, use an open heart, and they're lighthearted people, as he says, which means they love to fuck around. They love to shoot the shit. They love to be practical. They love to make jokes. They love to rip on you. They like to whatever. When you get close to them, you'll see it all. Hopefully, hopefully. And I don't know. I enjoy it and I love it, and I'll continue to bring you what I can. And my brother Vince from New Zealand has been allowing us here to share some stuff, so I'm trying to do it in waves, like I was saying earlier. So we'll be sharing one a day, and he's got a lot of stuff to share, and I'm trying to pick through how to do that and stuff. Just like kind of, it's I don't know. At least I want you guys to know when you come here, it's just really, it is what it is. Just take us for face value, you know. But
Yeah, sure.
I don't know the answer to that, Adam, but I hope that helped.
Well, listen, Mike, I think I'm going to get going for the moment here. I got to go
We're
grab a
all
bite to
we're all
eat.
yeah,
But
we're
I
all gonna get
appreciate
going.
this. Yeah, thank you very much for having me on, dude. This has been awesome. It's been like a whole regular show between us.
Yeah, I know, right? I appreciate you coming on, bro. Really, it
Thanks
was
for
good to
having
have
me.
you on, and yeah, thank you,
Oh,
bro.
likewise. Cheers, brother.
All right, have a good one, brother.
All right, you too, man. I'll talk to you in a bit, I'm sure.
All right, yeah, for sure.
Good night, guys. Thank you all.
All right, guys. So there you have it. To, like I said, we're supposed to have someone else on. That's gonna happen too. He's gonna tell his encounter story. But he, I he needs some rest. And I didn't want to full on bother him, and I hit up DHP literally 10 minutes before this. I said, "Hey, we're going on. If you want to come on, if you want to talk at all, if whatever." So, and literally a minute before the show, it happened. So that's why it was kind of so up in the air. Um, I appreciate you guys bearing with me and coming through here again, and not just here. I'm not just whatever. When I failed on the other side, moving over here to the StreamYard one, I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. It really does. Mike, it comes down to your energy. You're good. What the hell happened? Paul says, Mike, comes down to your energy. Yours is good. You experience good energy. Is bad or suspect, you might get limited access. I believe they are for the most part good, but some being evil, not possible. But some being evil, not impossible. Right. So no, some might not be good. You're right. I mean, I can't. So I've never had real bad encounters, but there we go again, right? With the caste system, kind of the chain of command. If there is a bad one in there, I'm pretty sure they get kind of put in check. You know what I mean? So I can only speak for myself personally, and I have experienced some shit that went wrong out there, but it wasn't Sasquatch. It was a dogman I pissed off. I haven't really shared that with you guys. It was nuts one night, really, really horrible. Maybe one day we'll get into that. Uh, I was really off for a while. You guys might not have noticed, again with the poker face, but things were really, really crazy at the house, and I had to do a lot of stuff to get back into my into check with all that. So anyway, um, go check out Dark Hour Paranormal. You will not regret it. I'm one of his mods over there, so I'm usually on every show. Scotty B comes through all the time. Bigfoot and Cryptid NEX. If you guys aren't with them yet, that's the sister channel, literally. So go check them out. Sean Patterson, what's up, brother? I just shared his stuff today about the Gugwi, and he wants everyone to know that they are peaceful and giving and loving and kind, very clever and very sneaky and very fast out of everything. But they've been the most kind to him. They wanted us to share that and put it up there on the Facebook page, because obviously I can only share this big of a photo on YouTube, and I can only share one at a time. It's frustrating, it's aggravating, but the page is there for this kind of stuff. Do Jersey Devil reports still come through LIB? I don't know. Again, you can go check out Bigfoot and Cryptid NEX. Brandy's from Jersey and Paul's from Mass, so they both do. Like Brandy did a live stream today from Jersey. I don't want to give away exacts on them, like where they're at, but uh, you know, Joey Hayes, what's up, brother? Good morning. Hope everyone's doing well. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Bill. You too, bro. I don't know about Jersey Devil. I know. I'm not sure. She had something screaming outside her house today, and I said, I was like, listen, it might be a fox screaming like that. I don't know, a bunch of baby foxes. I said, who knows? Maybe it's the Jersey Devil, but Was I joking? Kind of, but not really, because I don't know what the hell the thing does. But this thing, whatever it was screeching. So, I think Scotty B said it might have been an owl. Could be. Could be a number of things. I mean, I was fooled one day. I was chasing around a sound all over the place. It ended up being a den of baby foxes. And I thought I was in Cryptidville. I was like, oh shit, they're talking to me and they still going, and I'm gonna go find it. I was between a mom fox, and the den, and the mom was like hunkered down, hiding, and was trying to get to them, and they were seeing me, and they were screaming, trying to get her attention, and I was just caught in the middle. Like, long story short, you know, it uncovered. You're welcome. I don't know what I did, but you're welcome, great dog. You missed my silly question. Oh, what was it? Let's see. I'll go back. Well, Bigfoot, if you were lost in the woods, cold, freezing, and sweet Sasquatch gal saved your life, would you submit to her feminine wiles, or would you run back into the cold? Oh, no. I'm taken. uh, can't find or see them. Wait. This is running away from me. We can't find or see them. If they wanted us good, we wouldn't be here, period. Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. Yes, yeah. Oh, look at you go, Paul. I mean, shit. All four of them. Gone, not good. I know what you're saying. I got what you were saying, Paul. Cool, Adam. Thank you. Yeah, I hear you. My cat years ago would take rabbits late, early in the morning. I heard the sound. Yes. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Cats screeching, man. I've heard. It's crazy. I've heard them fighting. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. I think I think Bigfoot Odyssey does something tonight. Go check them out after this. Yeah, you don't want to get a Sasquatch trip, man. No, for sure. I don't ever want to piss any of them off, but it's all right. Cat scratch fever. Good night, brother. All right, guys. So 5 house cats. Damn. All right, guys. Good night, Dan. Guys, I'm off. Thank you so much for subbing to my brother's channel. He's gonna be his his interviews are gonna be. It's gonna take off. It has to. He's just very kind of, he's not, well known yet, but I had never seen no interviews better than his. I love it. He's so smart on so many levels. He has so much to offer, so much to give, and he will always answer any questions you have. He will always respond to you. He will not leave you hanging on any level. We click like crazy. We're going to be doing collaboration stuff together. We are going to Montauk together at some point. Not this year, probably not even next year, but we are going to collab soon enough, and get out together. And a lot of things going to be coming in the future. And I I don't have anything bad to say about it. Oh, look, you guys subbed the big. Oh, cool. Thanks, Big Cat. All right, guys. Good night, bud. Off World Adam night. Off Old Bill, good night. Oh, yeah, Daily Blog. He found some interesting stuff in the woods. Check out his last video. Yes, I said that last week to check him out. Go check out the Daily Dan blog. He has one of like rain coming down. He's on his porch and there's shit out there. Like, oh, it's cool. Check him out too. Guys, really, like, we all have a lot to give. And, don't get stuck in one place. And listen, guys, always too. If you don't like what the hell I'm talking about, don't give up on Bigfoot or whatever cryptid is you're into. You know, just like if something's on the TV and you're like, the show sucks, you don't turn your TV off all the time. Change the channel. If you don't like what I'm talking about, what I'm pushing, don't give up on Bigfoot. That's all it is. thank you guys. Um, thank you, thank everybody, and you guys are awesome. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Stay blessed.